Hello, I'm Bob Weir with another interview of People in the News in North Texas. My guest today is Denton County Commissioner Diane Edmondson, who's here to remind us that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Thanks, Diane, for being here.
Thank you for asking me, Bob.
Hundreds of thousands of women die each year from breast cancer. What should women do to help detect the disease?
Bob, what we are told is that early diagnosis is what's so important in order to prevent breast cancer. So there are three things that we need to be doing. Number one, and we've all heard this, is self-examination. And then if you feel like you may have an issue, you need to get to the doctor right away. And even if you don't think you have an issue, regular doctor exams are important. And third are mammograms. Now mammograms, thank goodness, have changed over the years. I'll never forget the first mammogram I had. I thought, I am never ever going to do this again. It was torture. But now they have really improved the procedure. The technicians are normally very kind and caring. And while it's not your favorite thing ever to do, it is certainly something that you don't mind doing. And it's so great to have the assurance that you don't have a problem, or if you do have a problem, for them to be able to get you to an early treatment program.
Right. And how often should a woman go for a mammogram?
You know, it really depends on her age, and your insurance companies normally have some guidelines. I get one every year, and most women I do get one every year. Now, there are some people that may not have access through insurance to mammograms. And I want to brag on Denton County because our public health department will get you to free mammograms if you come in for what they call a wellness check. It's just exactly that, just a general checkup, and then if you need a mammogram, they will refer you for a free mammogram. Bob, may I give the phone number that women should call if they would like to do that? It's 940-349-2900, 2900, and ask for the wellness exam, which is free, and then if you need a mammogram, they will see to it that you get a free mammogram, and I think that's important that all women have access to that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Okay, so well, what does a mammogram X-ray detect, generally speaking?
It detects any abnormality within the breast. It could be fibroid cysts, it could be other kinds of thickness in the breast, or it could be the beginnings or a tumor itself. Right. So it's a very helpful diagnostic tool. Occasionally they'll want you to come back for a second mammogram if they see something that's a little bit suspicious. They can even then order a biopsy on a portion of that, and that will tell them whether it's cancerous or not.
And the color pink has become a symbol of the Cancer Awareness Month,
yes, it
right?
has.
And people wear the pink ribbons and stuff like that. But that can be worn all year long, of course.
It could. Now, yesterday at Commissioner's Court, we all wore pink on the dais to commemorate Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we were given this nice little pin from the Public Health Department. But there is one other very, very new test that I'd like to mention if you don't mind.
Please.
It's called the BRCA, and what this is a genetic test. It finds if you are carrying a gene that is likely to develop into breast cancer. And in women who have this gene, many of them choose, with their doctor's suggestion, to have a double mastectomy so that they have no breast for the cancer to ever develop in. It's a very new type of situation, and what's interesting is there are several things that you should think about if you have one of these factors that you might want to consider getting the BRCA testing. First is, do you have a personal or family history of cancer at very young age within your family? Or if you have several types of cancer in one relative. Or if you have several close relatives that all have the same type of cancer. These are all kind of putting you at risk for having that gene. And what I found was interesting is that 1 out of every 400 people in the general population carry that gene. In a certain part of our population, known as the Ashkenazi Jewish population, 1 out of every 40 of these people carry the gene. And the article that I read indicated there are 10 million of the Ashkenazi Jewish population worldwide, and 80% of modern Jewish population has some Ashkenazi Jewish background. So that population may be at greater risk than perhaps others. Although another interesting thing that I learned was that in America, for every 100,000 women, 126 of them who get breast cancer are white, 127 are black, 136 are American Indian or Alaskan Native, 82 Asian, and 80 Hispanic. So it's spread across all of our population, but there do seem to be some concentrations. And again, within the Ashkenazi Jewish population, that is an even higher percentage. So hopefully, if you feel like you have any of those risk factors, you might want to check into this genetic test.
Yeah, and I think, you know, most women, when they get to a certain age, they are reminded about this, and they should be always getting mammograms. Is that important? And you mentioned something about the coverage by insurance. Is there health insurance that covers this?
Yes, most health insurance will cover this. Everyone that I know that has health insurance does get this covered. However, for women who may not have health insurance, or for whatever reason, if they are beyond or before an age that their health insurance will cover it, I urge them to call the public health department and get a free wellness woman exam, and then they'll be referred for a free mammogram. So there's no expense to the women involved.
What about self-exams by women? Are they able to do that from time to time themselves?
They are told really to examine themselves monthly. However, I have to admit that I am one of the women, and I think many others are out there, who do not do it as faithfully as we should. However, when you do discover a lump or a knot or whatever, you need immediately to get to your doctor, and they will most likely order a mammogram right at that time.
And I understand that in very rare cases, men can also get breast cancer.
Actually, yes, that's right, Bob. Our county judge, Andy Eads, mentioned yesterday in court when we were talking about the entire October Breast Cancer Awareness Month, that he personally knew 2 men who had had breast cancer. And now I don't know of any man that has, but according to what I saw, there will be about 2,670 new cases of invasive breast cancer expected to be diagnosed in men in this year.
How about the organizations in the area that support women with breast cancer?
I think there are a number of them. I think we've all heard about the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, and that's a great organization. And now that they're no longer affiliated with Planned Parenthood, it's good to participate in that Race for the Cure. There also, of course, is the National Cancer Society. There are other groups that are looking at all kinds of cancers, and then there are some that are specifically supporting breast cancer research. For example, today I stopped at a Tom Thumb, and when I was paying my bill, it said, "It's National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Would you like to contribute to the research on breast cancer?" And I said yes, and contributed. So there's that. And right here in Flower Mound, there is a company called Cleaning for a Reason. Flower Mound's Debbie Sardone is who started that, and I think it's wonderful. She does house cleaning for free for cancer victims. I'd also like to mention that in Louisville and Denton both, the health departments will be wearing pink this month, so go see them and get that done. One other thing, Bob, if I could mention,
Sure.
There's a great event in Denton that's held usually in January each year. It's called You're Beautiful, and it's for cancer survivors. They come and put on a style show. There's a luncheon for the people who wish to attend. It's always sold out, and it's so wonderful to see these people who have been through this horrible disease, have survived it, and are still very beautiful, and we love them.
Right. Well, that's great. A lot of good information here, and I hope our viewers take advantage of it. I want to thank you, Diane, for being here
Oh, thank you, Bob.
reminding our viewers to be aware of a disease that takes the lives of thousands of women every year. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for watching.